The Lakers weren't viewed as title contenders coming into the season, but things are changing now that they have unleashed their secret weapon. This is a huge year for the Laker franchise. They just hired a new coach who has revamped the Lakers offense, and players like Austin Reeves are thriving in it. Their two superstars, LeBron James and Anthony Davis, are coming off of their healthiest season and picked up where they left off. AD is already in MVP talk. Meanwhile, LeBron continues to outplay Father Time. But despite looking incredibly dominant, they are getting older. With LeBron talking about retirement, their title window is closing rapidly. It seems as if it's now or never. Although the Lakers failed to make any big offseason moves to shake up their roster, they did manage to find a hidden gem who is primed to be their secret weapon. By the end of this video, you'll see how the Lakers' secret weapon will shake up the league. The past few years for the franchise have been incredibly up and down. Ever since they won their championship in 2020, the Lakers have continued to battle roster turmoil. Whether it be shipping away core championship pieces for aging all-stars or making mid-season trades, which give the team a short-term boost, but not long-term solutions. However, the Lakers got a hold of Austin Reeves and have molded him into a starting guard. Someone who can control the offense and score with the best of them. But that wasn't enough. However, now they have found their secret weapon who could change the Lakers' fortune.
Of course, we're talking about the shooting guard from Tennessee, Dalton Knecht. Knecht already has some legendary nicknames like Knecht 4 and Westside Knecht, the latter given to him by Snoop Dogg of all people. When the Lakers drafted him, he was immediately viewed as the steal of the draft. Leading up to the draft, many assumed that Knecht would be drafted in the top 10, presumably by Charlotte at 6, but he ended up falling out of the lottery due to his age. Coming out of Tennessee, he was top 10 in points per game, averaging 21.7, and showcased elite shot-making ability while also having 3-level scoring ability. He was lights out in college, pulling up from basically anywhere on the floor. And he wasn't just a shooter. Knecht's slashing ability made it incredibly hard for defenses to play him tight, which allowed him to roam more freely and come off screens more effectively. On top of that, he had that IT factor. Despite losing to Purdue in the Elite 8 of the March Madness tournament, he went out swinging as he dropped 37 points. During his time in college, he also impressed his coaches with his attitude and mindset. When his coach asked him how he liked the game and why, Knecht answered,
"I loved it because I played with guys who wanted to win every game and every point." Another story from his early college days was when NJC was headed to overtime against Eastern Wyoming with its season on the line in the Northwest Plains District semifinals in April 2021. Knecht told Coach Trenkel they were going to the title game without question. After which, he spent the 5-minute overtime period finding ways to score repeatedly. He came off screens. He worked in the high post. He ran to the wing. He made good on his word with a blend of scoring and passing. He had 38 points and 9 rebounds to send NJC to the district title game. Safe to say that he's got the mentality of a killer.
This thirst for knowledge and always looking to improve his game is a big reason why he had a breakout year during the NCAA tournament.
He was named SEC Player of the Year by both the league's coaches and the Associated Press. He was also named SEC Newcomer of the Year by the AP. Despite all of this, he still fell in the draft because of 2 reasons. The first reason is quite simple. He's 23 years old. Many rebuilding teams look at that number and think lack of upside. As such, players like Knecht, who spent 5 years in college, are overlooked in favor of younger prospects.
Plus, it did take Knecht until his 4th year of eligibility before really dominated in college.
This might make some question whether he dominated because of his skill set or because he was more experienced and perhaps bigger and stronger than other kids. Advantages that he won't have in the NBA. The second reason he fell is because of his questionable defense. Concerns about Knecht's defense are also valid. He's very stiff as a defender, lacking lateral quickness and getting stuck on screens. However, he does have the height to make up for his lack of quickness.
According to Knecht, his biggest leap defensively had been on the mental side. He constantly asked questions and was always seeking feedback. Knecht also stayed in contact with his junior college coaches to get feedback on his performance. Knecht stayed so connected with his former coaches that he'd know Northeastern's travel schedule and used to FaceTime them at 2 a.m. when he knew they would just be getting back from a road trip.
Clearly, he doesn't shy away from criticism. He understands that he needs to work on his weaknesses constantly. But enough about his weaknesses. An elite offensive skill set can overshadow certain weaknesses. And that's what happened with Knecht. He's a dynamic shooter, knows how to navigate screens, and has the ball handling to create his own shot when need be. He has a feel for running the pick and roll, so he could develop into a primary option. Plus, he's an ambidextrous finisher and can handle contact around the rim and still score. He also does the little things like being active and cutting to the rim when the opportunity presents itself. He can even attack mismatches in the paint.
The Lakers were 15th in offensive rating last season. The Lakers were also 9th in three-point shooting last year, and that was after D'Lo turned his season around and became a lethal shooter. Prior to that, the Lakers teams under LeBron James have struggled to hit the three-ball consistently. They shot 37.2% last year and 34.4% the year before. Spacing issues have plagued the Lakers since their bubble run, back when they had good 3 and D players like KCP and Kuzma. Knecht can stretch the floor and provide AD and LeBron with the spacing they need. JJ Redick might be the perfect coach for someone like Knecht. Redick is arguably one of the best screen navigators and catch-and-shoot three-point shooters in league history. He can easily draw up plays for Knecht to get open and get into a rhythm. And we are seeing all of this unfold in real time. On November 13th, Knecht scored a then career-high 19 points on 7 of 8 shooting from the field with 5 of 5 shooting from three-point range. 3 days later, he broke this record, scoring a then career-high 27 points along with 7 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals in a 104-99 win over the New Orleans Pelicans. Another 3 days later, Knecht scored 37 points, including 9 three-pointers, in a 124-118 victory against the Utah Jazz. He also tied the record for the most three-pointers made in a single game by a rookie in NBA history. His three-point barrage was so unreal that he had LeBron James dancing on the sideline every time he cashed a three. This included 4 consecutive threes before adding 3 free throws and another triple, and yet another 3 at the start of the fourth. There was no doubt that his shooting would translate to the NBA, but he's making it look effortless out there. The reason behind it might be his mindset coming into the league. I feel like I've been underrated my whole entire life, ever since I was coming out of high school, so, I've always had that chip on my shoulder. And to this day, I'll always have that chip on my shoulder to go out there and prove people wrong. Knecht has said that some of his earliest ball memories were watching college basketball with his dad, Corey Knecht. He grew up playing point guard, and he and his dad studied Chris Paul, Steve Nash, Kyrie Irving, and Steph Curry. Not a bad bunch to model your game after. He spent every Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. at the gym training. He would return on weekdays to put the work into practice. His shooting motion dates back to his middle school years when basketball hooked him. He worked out in the mornings at Lifetime Fitness in Westminster, Colorado, with his dad, who taught him to repeat the form. Set your feet, flick your wrist, hold the follow-through, elbow in. Focus on the same spot on the rim. Consistency in everything. Knecht lives by those words. And that's one thing the Lakers have been missing in recent years. Consistency.
But now, they found a consistent knockdown scorer in Dalton Knecht.